Welcome to my Wellness Rewired Hacking Women's Health. Join Larissa and Mallory as they explore biohacking tips for women based on the latest science and research available today. Let them help you unlock your best self. It's time to hack smarter, not harder, together.
Okay, ladies, grab your coffee, grab a drink, put us in your ear while you go for a walk because you're going to want to hear this one. We are here with Dr. Kristina. It's Telhami, right?
Telhami. Yep.
Telhami. Okay. And she's PharmD, functional medicine rockstar, holistic health coach, and the woman behind all of those straight talking reels that we enjoy watching, and her podcast, No BS Health. So she has helped hundreds of women, especially in their 20s, early 30s, finally, and from what we were talking about, really all ages, finally heal their gut, balance their hormones, and get their metabolism out of survival mode without crazy restrictions or burnout, is my understanding. So today, we're diving into the real reason your metabolism feels broken, even when you're doing everything right, and how to rebuild it with practical fuel, recovery, and nervous system tools that actually fit real life, whether you're juggling the work hustle or midlife craziness. So welcome, Kristina.
Thank you so much for having me. Really, thank you. That was the most beautiful intro I've ever heard.
We do our homework. We've been watching you on Instagram for a while, honestly. So
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited to chat. I feel like as someone who has struggled with metabolic issues, I had an eating disorder. I've had a lot of health history issues that we could definitely discuss. It really is my passion to make sure that people understand how your metabolism works and that you don't have to be starving yourself, especially during the skinny epidemic I feel like going on right now. A lot of my friends are on Ozempic, a lot of them, and they're not overweight. And it just breaks my heart that people think that they shouldn't be eating to lose weight or just for health reasons overall. I feel like that's definitely a passion of mine to talk about. So thank you for having me.
Yes, we are so excited. And honestly, when we were like, what should we talk about on this podcast? I was like, man, the whole nervous system support is really hitting home for me right now. So I was like, yes, let's talk about that.
Yeah, where do you want to begin?
In your work with so many women, especially in their 20s and early 30s, what are you seeing as the biggest reason metabolism starts to feel completely broken? Is it the birth control aftermath, the constant stress, the under eating during busy seasons, or something else that keeps popping up?
I mean, honestly, the list could go on because I feel like there could be 20 things that could be causing it, but I would say the biggest one is chronic undereating. Now, as someone who's had an eating disorder, I was eating 1,200 calories a day and I would freak out, right? If I was going to be eating more than that, I'm going to gain weight. A lot of women think that they need to be eating 1,200 or 1,500 calories a day, to lose or even maintain their weight. But as someone who has not gained weight in quite, I don't think I've gained weight, but I eat around 2,000 calories a day. And I do see a lot of people not only fearing food, but fearing carbohydrates, which we can definitely discuss and go into. But I think a lot of people are under eating and overworking out. Whether that's only doing HIIT classes, feeling like they don't need an adequate rest day, your muscles need time to recover, right? If you're not giving your body the rest that it needs, it's not going to be able to have energy to sustain itself the next day or through that next workout. So I would say those two are the biggest ones, on top of not sleeping enough. Poor sleep, especially women. We definitely need more sleep than men. I've learned, women and men are two completely different people. Women especially should not be intermittent. I see a lot of young women, especially intermittent fasting, kind of treating their bodies like a man would. I see men intermittent fasting. We are not men. Men could probably work out 20 times harder than a woman can. Unfortunately, our hormones are completely two different things. So I would say those are the biggest one: gut inflammation, blood sugar issues, constant dieting. I mean, the list really does go on. And we could absolutely talk about birth control because that is a hot topic as well.
Yeah.
Any follow-up questions with that? Yeah, before I keep talking.
Well, the chronic undereating really does hit home because we're big intermittent fasting fans, but what we have learned, interestingly enough, in the last few years is the over restricting, fasting too much not giving that recovery time, not giving that refeeding time. And I was afraid of carbs. So like we're definitely figuring this out on our own. So it's so funny that we met and this started this conversation because we're like, we just are realizing this.
But it's interesting, like how we've made that switch to
Yes.
carbs are not bad.
Right, because people would tell you to fear carbs, go super high fat. And while fat is good, I think too much of anything isn't good. Too much fat isn't good. I don't think too many carbs are good, right? So finding that right balance is important. I mean, if you think about, the world created 3 different macronutrients for a reason. Women, you mean in general, I think women with hormonal issues especially do need carbohydrates. And I think that was something that I learned the hard way as I was scared of bananas. I would eat a banana for 3 years because I was so scared of it. Okay. And it's just like, why am I fearing a simple piece of fruit? It's kind of crazy to think about.
Now, what if nature's carbs? Like that's what it is, right?
Right. I'm like, why am I fearing something that just grows on a tree?
Yeah.
But I mean, especially with the birth control, I don't think birth control is a primary reason, but we do have to talk about birth control is a Band-Aid. You're getting your body synthetic hormones. And so let's say you were on birth control for, I don't know, a lack of a period, which is what they put me on. I didn't have a period for 8 years, by the way. I had amenorrhea for 8 years. And doctors, the only solution was maybe you should go on the Atkins diet. Did you ever hear about the Atkins diet?
Oh, yes.
Go on the Atkins diet, take a birth control pill. And the birth control was just masking a lot of those symptoms that were going on underneath. So once you go off of it, I mean, your issues are just going to come back. And that's really the main issue. Again, it's not a primary reason, but it's going off of it's going to uncover a lot of those underlying issues that were already there, whether it was PCOS, amenorrhea, thyroid dysfunction, nutrient deficiencies. So it really is important to understand what was the root of the issue prior to that birth control pill.
Man, that's so interesting.
Yeah, the more I work into birth control, the more I'm like, I don't want it. So I'm actually going to go off of it and let my body kind of recover for 6 weeks to kind of see what you said, to see where am I at after that.
Yeah, because you don't even have a
I don't
cycle.
even know a normal without it. So I need to like take it out to really find my normal.
Yeah, and I'm not anti anything. I think a lot of people, because I come from a pharmaceutical and a pharmacy background, I think a lot of people think that I'm anti medications, and that's absolutely not the case. I think time and place for everything. But again, I had hypothalamic amenorrhea, but medical doctors and my gynecologist wouldn't get to the root cause of it and instead wanted to put me on a birth control pill. And I think that's the biggest issue I have with conventional medicine is there's a lot of Band-Aid solutions and not getting to the root cause of why are you having those issues in the first place. Because for me, birth control wasn't the solution. I got off of birth control and I still didn't have a period. In fact, it probably made my hormones go more out of whack and cause a lot of nutrient deficiencies that I probably already had from having an eating disorder.
So what was it? What did you figure out? What ended up helping you?
Well, the biggest thing was gut dysbiosis. And this is really why I became a gut health practitioner. I mean, I am an everything holistic practitioner, I would say, but I would say that gut inflammation is one of the biggest things that I help a lot of clients with. I mean, the gut impacts your hormones. First off, 70 to 80% of your immune system is in the gut. 90% of serotonin produced in the gut. If you're not digesting or absorbing your food, which was a big issue for me, I wasn't digesting anything I was eating. I wasn't absorbing any of those nutrients. Then your hormones aren't even going to function if anything that you're eating or consuming isn't getting activated into your body, right? And so that's going to cause hormone issues online. And another thing, there's an entire gut microbiome called the estrobolome dedicated to metabolizing and breaking down estrogen. And so if you have gut inflammation and there's gut issues going on, your hormones aren't even going to be able to be metabolized or broken down. Or if you're not going to the bathroom every day, I had chronic constipation, you're not pooping out a lot of that excess estrogen and those excess hormones and you're not detoxing things out properly. And so that's just going to get recirculated back, not only into your liver, but into your body, causing high estrogen symptoms. So people don't realize the entire body works together. And for me, after having done a GI map, I wasn't digesting or absorbing my food. I had candida overgrowth. I had so many gut issues, so much gut inflammation. But once I healed my gut, my hormones finally started to work again.
Now, did you figure that out by yourself, or did you have somebody help you figure that out?
No, I I found a naturopathic doctor. I found
Oh,
another
good.
functional medicine practitioner. I was reaching out to you know who, name it, back in like 2017 was when I graduated college, and I really started to realize, wow, I don't have a period. I have chronic digestive issues. I was a chem major. I would fall asleep in almost every single I don't know how I graduated with the 3.5 with the chem degree. I don't know, because I did not have any energy at all. Like, I
Oh,
couldn't
yep.
function. Yeah. It's
I can
scary
see
to
that for
think
sure.
about, to be honest. I mean, I abused a lot of Adderall, and I openly talk about it, but I abused Adderall. I wasn't eating. I mean, Adderall was really the only thing that got me through through school at the time.
Yeah.
Which is a story actually I've heard from a lot of women, honestly. Like that's a pretty common thing, especially in the college years. Like it's crazy
I
how
mean,
much
unfortunately, people are selling it, to their friends who are prescribed it. I mean, even here,
Yep.
I'm 31 years old, and I still see people abusing Adderall to this day and
Yes.
selling it to our friends, and also Adderall
Yep.
doesn't make you eat. So when you already are trying to lose weight and be skinny and you don't have energy, right? You're gonna take Adderall, not eat. I wouldn't eat for like 15 hours on it. It's pretty terrifying.
Wow.
I'd use it to not
Yeah.
eat and get through studying.
Wow.
Man. So like you now knowing everything you know and looking back at past your past self, that's got to be pretty like
It's
pretty
like
crazy.
concerning, because I'm like, how did I even survive the day? Like, I obviously still have a very active social life, and I do drink, and I am open about that. I think balance was a big thing that I had to really realize was something that I'm passionate about, is having balance. But even now, like, it's like 1 or 2 days of going out or going to a music festival, I'm exhausted. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how did I just not sleep and not eat and survive 4 years of college?
Oh yeah.
No wonder my body was so broken down. It took 2 years to get my period back.
Wow. It was
Wow.
screaming. It was screaming. All the red flags were there.
It was screaming. It was like, you need food, you need sleep, your gut is a mess. But then again, it caused me to have even more disordered eating thoughts, because I was so scared of anything bad for me. Like I was telling you, I was scared
Yep.
of carbs. I was like, there's so much information out there, especially now with social media, even more. People are telling you one thing, people are telling you carbs are bad, people are telling you seed oils are bad, which are bad, but people are telling you 20 different things, that it's really hard to know what works for you and your body and what you should actually be doing.
Well, and especially with what's available to us, like usually what's quick and easy is not necessarily the best for you. So deciphering what you can and cannot have for
Yeah.
yourself is can be challenging.
It's actually a great segue because we hear a lot about like, breakfast is the, most important meal of the day. Don't eat breakfast or all these like metabolism resets. There's all this crazy stuff out there. So what actually works for restoring metabolic health that you help women with? What actually works through fuel or whatever you use?
Well, the biggest thing I do say when you are struggling with metabolic issues, and I know you guys are intermittent fasting currently, but personally, what I've seen works for me and other clients is eating breakfast, and especially eating within that hour of waking up. I think don't understand how cortisol works. Let's say you get your cortisol tested via saliva. Your cortisol peaks at 30 minutes upon awakening. So at 30 minutes to 60-minute mark is when your cortisol is the highest. Now, with people who are struggling with energy issues, cortisol imbalances, I really do recommend, and just hormone dysfunction overall, eating when you wake up. Now, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be a massive breakfast at 5 or 6 a.m. because I actually work out around 6:30 a.m. I still have a pre-workout snack. It's usually an apple and a banana, an apple and almond butter, a banana and almond butter, something kind of small along those lines, really getting that carbohydrate and fat first thing in the morning, which helps me get through my workout. Because if I don't eat, I'm probably not going to be able to get through a heavy lift without anything in my system. But I also just think in general, your breakfast doesn't have to be perfect. Eating breakfast is very important, but eating 3 meals a day is very important. A breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. I just see a lot of people who are doing intermittent fasting at a younger age. They're not eating
Yeah.
until like 1 p.m. and they're eating all of their calories at night. And then they're bloated and their stomach hurts and they can't sleep. Like that was
Oh
probably,
yeah.
1,500 if you're eating 1,500 a day, but 2,000 calories a day worth in like a shorter window, which sometimes can be a lot on your digestive system and your blood sugar. Eating 3 meals a day can really help with those blood sugar issues. So that's kind of the biggest thing is a lot of women think skipping breakfast, skipping meals. If I want a faster metabolism, I need to be eating less. But a healthy metabolism really needs enough energy. So I would say that's
That
kind
is
of the biggest thing.
what is like
Okay.
one of your favorite things to eat for breakfast?
For breakfast, I would say I always usually stick to some sort of egg. Even I will be completely honest. I sometimes like to eat dinner foods for breakfast. So some days I'll have like ground beef, sweet potatoes, fruit. I mean, really, I love having meat for breakfast, but making sure that I do have protein. So my breakfasts
Yeah.
really do shift. Sometimes I'll do like a few eggs and some egg whites in there, some sort of fruit yogurt situation. I just make sure that I do try to have a higher protein, hitting about 25 to 30 grams of protein a day. I will say it usually switches off between eggs and some sort of meat situation and like sweet
Yeah.
potatoes or fruit. I like to have a
Oh,
savory
Lord.
breakfast because if I have something too sweet in the morning, I will say I get hungrier later and I
I
want
know you're
something more
I love
sweet because
language.
I do have a sweet tooth. So if I eat too many sweet things, I'm going to want more sweet things, but if I switch to savory breakfast, I'm not craving as many sweet things. But I will
Right.
say it kind of switches off. I mean, we love Greek yogurt situations, but I would say usually around meat or eggs in the morning is usually what I personally it fills me up. If I have a protein yogurt bowl or like a protein oatmeal bowl, it doesn't fill me up as much.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about recovery for a second because
Okay.
this is something that recently, as we're, doing our research rabbit holes that we go down for this podcast, like recovery has kind of been a hot topic for us, mostly because
We're
when
bad
it,
at
absolutely, we're terrible at it. That's the first thing. Um, but
I
but
get it.
also, yeah, it's just one of those things that we always talk about. It's been
it.
eye
Need
opening
to do it, but
it's been eye opening to realize that we are embracing what it means to be a woman versus trying to constantly be a man, like be like a man, like you talked about with like fasting. Everybody just tries to, and working out too hard and things. How have you seen poor recovery affect women's health in general?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about how I see a lot of people over exercising. They think they need to be doing more. They need to be running. They need to be walking. They can't take a day off of working out, but you really don't get healthier while you're exercising. I honestly think your muscles repair and grow, and you get healthier when you're recovering from it. So, making sure that you're
oh,
taking adequate rest days. I personally do not do any hit and I don't run. Like, people know me, I do not run. I walk as much as I can. I lift 3 to 4 days a week, usually 2 upper body days, 2 lower days. Maybe I'll sprinkle in instead of a lifting day, I do a Pilates class, but it really is important that you are not over exercising and sleeping enough.
yeah.
So not only rest days, but sleep. I really
Oh
feel like
yeah.
sleep is such a big thing that a lot of people are not getting enough of. And knowing that your body really does want to be on a certain circadian, clock. Ideally, you want to be asleep between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. That is the best time to sleep. So making sure that you're sleeping 7 to 8 hours at least a night. 7 to 8 is really that sweet spot. Sometimes I need more. Sometimes I can honestly survive with less of it. But I would say if I don't get at least 7 hours of sleep, I'm not okay the next day. But yeah,
Well,
strength training instead of hit, walking, even walking 10 minutes after meals, you guys can lower a lot of that blood sugar. So if you're having
Oh
blood sugar
yes.
dysregulation, walk 10 minutes after a meal. I have a little treadmill right here. Yeah, I have a walking pad. Walk 10 minutes after a meal. Really, really will help lower a lot of that blood glucose levels, especially if you're struggling with higher glucose after meals. But, recovery is really where muscles are repairing, your hormones can balance. Your gut health resets at night when you sleep. Your hormones need sleep. And your metabolism will really adapt positively when you're giving it that actual recovery. Rest days are important. You're not going to gain weight from 2 days off working out. I think we all freak out
yeah.
that we're going to gain weight if we take days off, but you actually might even lose weight. Because your body really does need rest. Your body's going to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I do think that that's something that I've been really bad at, and I just go, 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 go. And as I get older, my body can't recover the same as it when I was younger. And so I really have had to force myself, and the Aura Ring has forced me because it tells
The
me,
Aura
it
Ring, I
yells at
know it
you.
really. which
Yes.
sometimes these things can cause a lot of, I actually have been thinking about throwing this away. I mean, I didn't use my Apple Watch for so long. Then I forgot I had an Oura Ring and I was like, okay, like maybe I should start using my Oura Ring. But I feel like this kind of is really toxic in my opinion, because like I feel like that we shouldn't be so heavily focused on how much we're working out. What is our percentage of, activity a day? I kind of think it gives
Right.
people a toxic mindset with this stuff, because
Well, I guess
especially for you when you're go 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 all day, you probably have high cortisol. Your body's in this sympathetic fight or flight survival mode, and you don't want to be in that
Absolutely.
survival mode all day. Your body's gonna just stay in that survival mode, and then what happens when you like finally, your body's gonna shut down at some point,
Yeah,
and you want to make
it
sure you're
will.
getting yourself time to recover before your body does it for you and before it's too late. You
That
kind
is
of have
one
to.
thing I like about the Aura is
uh,
because it has that recovery. It's like, hey, your body is stressed. It actually tells me to rest
It
more. And
does. Yeah.
so then I'm like, oh man, if
it
it's telling me, then I really need to chill out.
kind of justifies like what you're saying, like we need rest day. But if you've not been trained or allowed yourself to have that rest time in
Yeah.
your life, then it does force you scientifically to look at the tools, be like, you're overdoing it. You need to take that time off. So for me, it's been a tool to really change my lifestyle to really support it instead of constantly take.
Yeah, I guess it
Yeah.
depends on what you're monitoring, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it depends on your lifestyle and where you're at. Like if you're in fight or flight mode, or if you what you're working on. But on this podcast, when I'm really working at being a full functioning human being, it has really
Yeah.
made me aware of my bad habits.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'm someone too is really, really type A, and I really envy a lot of my friends who are so type B. But like for me, it does get to you, and so I get
Yes.
it. And sometimes it's
Yeah.
hard to switch that off. But like even putting your phone on airplane mode at night, even not looking at your phone first thing in the morning. Like I started to
Oh
take
yeah.
my journal out first thing in the morning and write what I'm grateful for, write what I have to do for the day. Because I'm like, why am I looking at my phone? Especially, a lot of my job is social media. I have to be on my phone sometimes 24/7 and it sucks. I don't want to be on my phone all the time, but sometimes I have to
Yeah.
be. So I think it's trying to find that balance, because you really should not be in this constant state of I need to be doing something. It's okay to slow down.
Oh
I
yeah,
love that.
that's a good question. Like when we talk about the fight or flight and the nervous system and stress, like what are you finding that works for women who struggle with this to help them learn how, because that's a hard skill to learn,
Mm.
is to not, because it's always easy to push yourself to do more, but to be like, okay, now take time to recover. Now take time to nurture
And give
yourself.
yourself permission to take that
Yeah,
time.
that's a hard thing to do. So what have you found that works with your clients?
I mean, the nervous system is basically your body's operating system. So we have to really make sure that we're looking at, because if you're constantly stressed out, your body's basically going to ask, is it safe to not only prioritize reproduction, digestion, recovery, sleep, metabolism? So if you're struggling with any of those areas, I always say a wake up call, look at your nervous system, okay? Because most likely that's a huge root cause of a lot of those issues. A lot of my clients struggle with chronic diarrhea, chronic digestive issues. You're not sleeping enough. Well, look at your nervous system. So I think just the biggest thing is like looking at sunlight first thing in the morning, not at your phone. Your body wants to see sunlight, even just getting outside. You know how much getting outside of my apartment makes such a big difference? It's hard when I'm always on my computer, I'm always doing something on my phone, but it's like, take time away from your phone, look at the sun, look outside. Immediately, I'm relaxed. So walking outside and getting in that sunlight, eating meals sitting down. You guys, why is it called the parasympathetic state? The
Yeah.
parasympathetic state is your rest and digest state. So if you're eating when
Right.
you're standing up, your body's not digesting. A simple just sitting down when you're eating, putting the phone away. I still love to watch TV or something when I'm eating, but like I'm not looking at social media. Chewing your food thoroughly. Are you eating your meals in 5 minutes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
You're
a big problem we
like
have.
chew your
Point us out
food,
on all of our
take
issues.
deep breaths, actually doing deep breaths through your nose, out through your mouth, deep
Yeah.
breathing. Again, phone free walks. Anytime I'm with a friend or my mom, I put my phone away. Sometimes, like if I'm at home with my mom, we don't bring our phones on our walks. Thankfully they live in a safe area, but like put your phone away when you're walking. Which is again hard, which is why sometimes too I like to call my friends on the phone so I'm not tempted on my walks to like scroll social media, because I know like I sometimes will walk and be on my phone the whole time. And I'm like, did I even just walk outside? You know?
Yeah, you can't tell.
Um You know, having social life. Social life gives you time away from your phone too. But like
Yeah.
for me, like going to hang out with a friend can actually really heal my nervous system, which is why I really talk about balance and having a social life, because I think connection and having those friendships and not being stuck in your apartment and stuck in a mindset of, oh my God, if I go out, I'm going to lose an hour of sleep. Or if I go out, like I'm going to be off my health tracker. Like having friendships and having a social life and having connection is great for your nervous system.
Yeah.
So like just basic, simple
Yeah.
things. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. You don't need to go travel the world. You don't need to like book a meditation class. You don't need to book a massage. It's like get off your phone, chew your food, sit down, go outside, hang out with a friend.
Yeah, and engage with life. Yeah.
It
That
doesn't have
is
to be
true. That's
complicated.
been,
Yeah.
it's
I
funny.
think we make it more complicated though.
Yeah.
What'd you
Yeah.
say?
I said I think we make it more complicated. Like
We make it for sure, because I think there's so much information out there. And social media really makes you freak out like you should be doing more, or you should be trying this, or you should be doing a lymphatic massage. I love lymphatic drainage, but you don't need to be doing a lymphatic drainage massage for an unhealed nervous system. For me, therapy was a big one. I had years and years of therapy and journaling and sitting with my own thoughts, because there was a lot of other deep-rooted mental health stuff going on that I didn't want to address. So go get into therapy. I'm not a therapist for my clients. I can feel a lot of my clients type A energy sometimes. I think people stress themselves out way more than you need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, especially women like going through perimenopause and menopause, your emotions are all over. So you could feel one way one day, and then the next day feel completely opposite. So
sure.
it all depends on the day of your cycle too.
It's the queenager stage. We talked about this at length. Yes. It's like being a teenager all over again. Yes. So yeah, this is interesting because this is a lot of the stuff that I found this year, and it's really been helping, is the getting out first thing in the morning. And I have like a morning ritual where I have a little patio garden on my back deck. And so I make myself a hot cup of tea and I go out there in the morning and I pick all the weeds out of my little garden. And it's been like the most soothing thing I think I've ever done. But it's simple, right? Like
No, it's so simple. Like I have a balcony with sunlight and I'm like, I need to just go sit out for like 5 minutes, and like you just feel better,
Yeah.
It's
Leave
just like
the
the
phone
basic simple
inside.
things, like getting in the sun, away from your phone. There's a whole life outside of our phones, you guys.
Who knew?
Well, I feel like that is one thing this journey has really taught us, is all the fancy, shiny new objects, all the fancy gadgets and all that stuff. You don't need any of that. It's really just going back to the basics, just like what you said, like your sleep, getting outside, engaging with, your friends and make connections with other people and eating healthy. Like it's all simple,
It's all simple.
but our lifestyle is not set up like that. Like,
but also not stressing as much. Like, I was so strict. I wouldn't let myself have a glass of wine for years because I was like, oh my God, alcohol is going to kill me. When it's like, is a glass of wine the thing that kills you, or are you having the mindset that a glass of wine is going to kill you? Right? I always tell my clients, they're freaking out there. They're going to be eating out and their stomach's going to hurt. And I'm like, don't go into the mindset that food is going to hurt your stomach, because it probably will. The less you stress about what's the better. You don't need to sweat the small stuff. Obviously, alcohol isn't good for you. I always talk about this. It really isn't. But I'm never, ever going to say I'm never going to have a glass of wine again. Like, it's really not that serious. There are worse things for you. There are worse things for you than one glass of wine once in a while,
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I totally agree.
Well, it's like what you said, it's balance, right? Like anything out of balance. Like if you fast too much is bad for you. If you do, if you drink too much is bad for you. Like if you get out, like there's so many things that if you do too much, it's bad for you. So really just making a balanced lifestyle, it's not as detrimental.
Yeah.
Period.
Say no more.
Say no, that's it. We're done. Mic drop.
Let's go. But I do want to say that for the women, listening, who might feel like her body's betraying her, right? That's a very common feeling, I feel like, especially with women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, where there's, things just are not the same. Yes. That, what's one mindset shift or like a simple starting point that you wish more women knew about, or, about restoring their metabolism or or soothing their nervous systems.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish a lot of women knew that your body isn't trying to punish you. Think of it as it's communicating with me. It's
Mm.
communicating that something is wrong. And I also want people to know that sometimes less is more, not to fear food. When you are healing your metabolism, you might gain weight. I can't say that you won't because for me, I did gain weight, but I felt like my body needed to feel safe again. And sometimes you have to allow that safety net and then things will kind of balance back. And I genuinely believe food is fuel. And I'm so grateful that I finally restored my metabolism because I do eat a lot and I'm so proud of it. I'm excited that I can go eat a steak. I eat 3 meals a day. And you can get to that point, but you really do have to make sure that, you know, if you feel like your body is obviously stuck, your metabolism isn't working, you have to figure out, it's communicating with you like that for a reason and not to fear food. Your metabolism isn't your enemy at all. It's your body's greatest survival tool. So, yeah,
Yes.
less is more. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we all need to hear over and over again because eating too
Yes.
much doesn't help either.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and restriction isn't what's going to boost your metabolism. Eating less isn't going to boost your metabolism. It's going to slow it down. And once you
Yeah.
train your body to eat more, it's going to keep it up. And also muscle. Women are so scared to lift weights. I lift
Oh,
really, really heavy. I
yeah.
hit legs hard. I love to push myself in the gym. More muscle means you can eat more. Genuinely, the more
Yeah.
muscle you have, the more you're burning at rest absolutely doing nothing. Get your steps in. I try to hit 10K steps. Some days I'm hitting 1K steps. You know what I mean? But genuinely, get steps in after dinner. Go for a 10-minute walk. I try to hang out with my friends. Instead of going out to dinner and drinks with my friends, I'm like, let's do an hour hot girl walk. We'll do a sunset walk. Like,
That's a good
you can get
idea.
so many steps in that way with hanging out with a friend. I always do hot girl walks with my friends if I can, rather than going out to dinner or spending money. Call a friend during that
Yeah.
hour. One of my friends today and I are catching up, and I'm like, perfect. I'm going to schedule an hour walk while we have our hour phone chat. So just simple things like that.
Yeah. Oh, I do love that.
More
That's a
isn't
good idea.
always better. Better is better.
Yeah.
Does your mom love that you're in this space? So then anytime she has any questions or she's
My parents
yeah.
love it. Yeah, they do. They do. My parents are my biggest supporters. I mean, I quit my job at CVS and, moved home for like 2 years. Started my business. They were my biggest supporters. They're like, "We'll,
Oh,
support you whatever way possible." They still are my biggest supporters. My mom has a TikTok. My mom doesn't have Instagram. I don't have that many followers on TikTok, you guys. My mom literally made an account with a completely different name. It's not her real name. It's like I'm not even gonna tell you guys what the name is, but it's a completely different name, a completely American name, and she comments on my TikToks every day. So if you see a
oh my
comment
God.
on every video, it's my mom.
I love that. That's
That's
so
cute.
cute. Well, like your whole life is moving towards like such a positive, inspirational that it inspires millions and millions of people to make better health
Yes.
choices. So it's something you can be so proud of. And then it's as a parent, I know for myself, that would give me a lot of peace to like say like, wow, you're making such a positive impact on the world.
Yeah, and after going through what I went through, a lot of my clients are around, the age I started everything at. So it's like I want to
Oh,
make sure
okay.
that I help them because I don't want them to have gone to that point that I was. Or a lot of them were at that point. They're restricting themselves. They're eating 1,200 calories. They have digestive issues. They have energy issues. They're scared to eat. And I'm like, you guys, it's really going to be okay. I think it really does help for people to have someone to work with. That's why I tell my clients get off social media, work with
Yes.
someone. I know it's annoying. There's a lot of free information out there. A lot of us don't want to be spending money on someone, but having one on one support and a personalized supplement plan, protocol plan for you makes a huge difference.
I could not agree with you more. I think that if you're going to
Yeah.
invest in anything, invest in yourself and then talk to somebody who is going to help your life improve and don't try to figure everything out for yourself.
Yep. Yep.
Because what
There's
is good,
wisdom out there. There's
yeah,
wisdom out there. Use it.
and what's
Right.
good for you might not be good for me. So you need somebody to really help, just what you say, like customize it
Yep.
so it really will impact your body and your health.
Exactly.
So true. Okay, before we jump into our final segment, if anybody wants to find you, what's the best way to find you?
You can find me on Instagram at drdr.christinatelhami or even just drchristinatelhami.com, no period after the doctor. Yeah, I have so many blog posts, you guys. I post a blog post every week. There's so many on there talking about hormones, eating for your hormones, GI map before and afters. I have so much information on there. I send out newsletters with test results of clients to kind of compare and look at. And I
Oh, I
share
love
so
that.
much free information on my Instagram. My Instagram is full of free info.
Yeah, that's
So
where we've been,
Yeah.
is your free info on Instagram. So,
utilize it. You know what I mean? But I will say if you are struggling and you need testing, it really is important to not be using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is great for other things, but I will say when you have a personal health issue, don't use those things. Don't be trying random things. A lot of my clients come to me and they're like, this influencer said take this supplement. This influencer said this. I'm like, you're following 12 different people's diets and supplements. Like that's not you. That's not your body. So really trying to make
yeah.
sure that you're finding that individualized protocol is very, very important, and give things time. If something is working, like Ozempic for some people works really quick, right? But
Yeah.
with supplements and doing things the right way, sometimes it does take a long time. So you have to be willing to put in that effort.
Yeah, I feel like it takes a long time, but then it's a lasting change. And so that's the key, because I feel like there's a lot of diets out there that work in the short term, but they're setting you up for failure in the long term. And so it's something to consider when we really just overall want to feel better. We want to stick around for a long time. And we always say um it's not about lifespan, it's about health span. Totally blanked that
Yes.
for a
Oh,
second.
beautiful.
Right? And so then
Yeah.
it's about the quality of the life that you're living. We want to live well. We don't want to just live a long time. And so
And what I
I love
love
all
that
that.
you talk about is that the foundational blocks of the lifestyle. You have to have a healthy lifestyle to really make all of that come to action and come to fruition. Like you have to really look at your lifestyle as a foundation block.
Yeah, and sometimes you're not going to have motivation, but it's like those habits will motivate you. Like when you do the same thing every day, like it's going to become a routine. And then when you fall off of those habits, like, yeah, if I go out for, a trip or a music festival, like I love going to music festivals. I know that my body is going to be craving my routine and my health again. I went to Coachella. I was like, I don't even want to go out for 2 weeks. Like, gosh, I cannot wait for my morning walks, my gym, my red light therapy, bed by 9 p.m. Like, I can't wait for it. But like, again,
Yeah.
your body's going to want to crave those things. Once you do it for so long, you're going to feel so good that you're going to want to go back to it every single time.
Ugh,
You're very
that's
excited
true.
to go back to it.
It's your systems, right? You
I
have to
know.
have those systems in place that build that. That's what really sets you up for success.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
I love it.
We're going to go into our Rewire Rapid Fire series. So we're going to ask you 5 questions, and it's just like this. It's nothing too deep. So don't overanalyze anything. Just kind of do
Okay.
what's ever on the top of your head, and it's more fun than anything. Okay, so the first question is, what's a small daily habit that had the biggest impact on your energy or health?
Morning walks.
That's a good one.
That is a good
I
one.
just went on an hour beach walk this morning.
On the beach, that's even
That's
better.
fine.
Was
live
it
in
barefoot? Like you're like
Oh my God,
grounding
like
while you're
literally,
walking?
it just my whole day is better from a
Oh.
morning walk, or even just getting outside in the morning, even if it's 5 minutes. I walk to the gym if I can. I
Yes.
swear, getting outside in the sun, or just even if it's not sunny, it really makes a big difference on your energy and mood.
Makes you feel alive.
Yeah.
You feel alive.
I
Yeah.
love that
I
one.
know.
Okay,
It's
next
fun.
one. What's a wellness myth or should that you've ditched that changed everything for you?
That carbs are bad.
I also
I
agree
think
with that.
carbs are actually very important for women. I really think, and carbs are needed for your energy. I eat not like a high carb diet, but I eat sweet potatoes every night. I eat rice. I eat oats. I eat a lot of fruit. I eat carbs
Yes.
before the gym, after the gym.
I love that. We are learning this
I'm
as
learning
we
that
speak.
because I was in
Yeah.
keto for like 7 or 8 years. So now
Yeah.
I'm like coming back into where my hormones need the nature's carbs and stuff. So now trying to come back and balance it. It's been an interesting journey. So I
Yeah.
agree with you on that.
Yep.
All right, the next question. What is one piece of advice you wish you could go back and give your younger self about your metabolism or hormones?
That you should not be restricting food and
Mm.
eat. My lunches in college, I would not eat lunch. My breakfast would be a piece of avocado toast, just avocado toast. Then for lunch, I would have an RX bar. Then for dinner, I would have sweet potatoes and vegetables. Like I didn't eat. So I really wish I told myself,
Yeah.
once you eat, you won't be falling asleep in chemistry class.
Yeah.
You'll actually be able to like sustain your class without going to bed.
And enjoy it.
I really wish I told myself how important food really is.
Yeah. And not to be afraid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wouldn't have taken me so
Yeah.
many up and down weight journeys. I had to gain like 30 pounds to get my period. And then I was like, oh my, like I would have saved myself so much time and so much
Mm.
less stress if I just ate 3 meals.
Yeah.
It's so simple. Less is more.
Less
Yep.
is more.
Okay. Next one. What are you most excited about right now in the world of holistic medicine or women's longevity?
I think just the fact that a lot of women are strength training now and lifting weights. I feel like lifting
Yes.
weights is like I'm seeing more women lifting weights at the gym. All my friends are asking me to lift weights with them and teach them like how do I lift? What's my routine? I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
just strong is hot, not skin. Like
Yeah.
your
Yes.
bones, you need, but go get a DEXA scan done. I just got a DEXA scan a few months ago.
Oh,
We
yes.
need bone density. You need strong bones and you need to start lifting at a younger age. Once you hit 60 years old, it's too late. Start lifting now. It's going to get too late to start building up that bone density once you hit 60. You have to start
Well,
when you're young.
it peaks when in your late 20s. So by the time you're 30, your bone density has peaked. And so you really do want to start lifting young.
If possible.
Yes.
I started
absolutely.
lifting in 2018. So I guess, yeah, it's been about 8 years. But it does take a long time. So you got to start now.
Now what, you're going to be
do.
one of those women that live to be like 100.
Yeah, you'll be like, strong bones.
You're like, I got on this early. I got it. All right,
Okay,
last question.
last one.
What's one guilty pleasure that actually supports your wellness or that you refuse to feel guilty about?
I have dessert every single night and it won't stop.
Ooh.
Whether it's those Alec Culture ice cream cups, they're so delicious, really clean. I ate one last night, 100 calories
Ooh.
for ice cream. Or it's Honey Mama's, my favorite chocolate. I'll either have a piece of dark chocolate, some sort of healthy chocolate, or like a healthy ice cream every single night. I do not restrict myself, and it makes me feel good. Having a little sweet treat and carbs before bed helps your sleep. Don't neglect a sweet treat. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health.
Oh, yes. I'm 100% behind that. So,
So I'm the savory person and she's a sweet person in this
Yep.
relationship.
yep, it's true. Okay. Well, Kristina, thank you so much. This was so fun. I loved this.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Oh my God.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Okay.
much for having me.
Yes, it was our pleasure, honestly.
Yeah, you're great.
Yes. And remember, ladies, our mission is simple. We want to help you know your body and take ownership of your health, one biohack at a time. And we are just, everything we've learned has changed everything for us. So now we are here to share it with as many women as possible. So if this episode lit a spark for you or made you think of another incredible woman in your life, please share the episode, hit like, subscribe, and we will catch you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Yay!
So, less sometimes isn't more, or less sometimes is more.
We always cheer at the end. I can't help it.
I know. We usually have we have little hands that we took to the Biohackers Conference in LA.
Yeah, we forgot.
And
ours.
everybody loved them. And so now that's kind of been a thing. Okay, so now we're going to go into our series. It's the rapid wire refire. We're going to go into our rapid. No.
All right, you wellness rock stars. That's a wrap on this episode of My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. We've had a blast dishing out the hacks and laughs, but hold up, let's keep it real.
Yep, we are not doctors. We are just sharing our biohacking adventures and learning right alongside you. Nothing we say is medical advice, so always, always check with your healthcare provider before trying any new wellness tricks.
Absolutely. This podcast is all about inspiration and entertainment, not prescriptions. So join our Facebook group for more sassy wellness vibes. Catch you next time.